lottery. www.classica.com/en/tutor/Javi-Fontalva. Subscribe. Alright, into this video we're going to talk about raising verbs and control verbs and how those things affect to the tree, to the syntactical tree. What do I mean by raising verbs? Okay. Well, so there's certain expression of verbs where you can say, for example, it seems that John is tired, or it is likely that John is tired. So sometimes you can raise the subject, the second clause, and place it before. That's called raising. For example, instead of saying it seems that John is tired, you could say John seems to be tired. Or you could also say John is likely to be tired. Now when you analyze it, if you think of the theta role of the verb, for example, seems, when you say John seems, what's the theta role of seems? Actually, John is tired. John is not seem. So, for example, this is a sentence, John is likely to leave. So, it's likely has no theta role actually. Okay, let me show you if I can. So that is the theta grid. Okay, you don't need to have an experiencer with this likely. You could simply say it is likely, right? Now with the expression is reluctant, you need experiencer. We're going to talk about control verbs later. So as you can see, John is connected to live. It's not connected to is likely. So that's why in your deep structure, or DS also called, it has to start down here. It has to be here because live is going to assign agent role. Okay, so it has to be next to the verb like this. And you can use a voice be, okay, phrase to make it simpler. Remember, below this voice be, you're gonna have a VP, all that, yeah. So it has to be the subject leave, okay, because it needs to get the case. Okay, so remember when you build your deep structure tree, you have to think about the theta rules. Not the case, sorry, theta rule. But then you move it down, you move it up there. So as you can see, it goes for here in the subject position of to live, sort of. So it goes first there because of the EPP principle or the PPP, and there is another one which is MLC. So this is minimal link. Let me look it up so I cannot lie to you. No, just a second. Minimal link condition, that's the name. So what is the minimal link condition? It means it has to go to the next free spot. So the closest spot is this one, okay? Why? Why do you have to move it? Because you need to give it a case as well. Remember here, the case is given by the T. node. Okay, so this is the T node. But remember, there is a problem here. It cannot. This T node cannot give any case because it's a non-finite verb. What do I mean by non-finite? I mean a verb with a proper subject. The sentence here is just to live. It doesn't have a subject, so it cannot get. So John doesn't get any case in this case. So it needs to go to the next subject position also. So the next available place is this one here, up here, and this is what we call raising, this movement. Okay. Why do we do this? Because this John needs to get a case. And here, in this position up here, it gets nominative case from this verb to be and the tense actually. So this verb to be goes up here because it's actually tense, okay? And then finally gets nominative case. Now, before I mention control verbs, okay? So what is a control verb? Let me see if I can show you a good example of that. Okay. So sometime when you have a sentence like John, for example, John is reluctant to leave. If you think of the theta roles of is reluctant and leave, I don't know if I can find the theta grid. Let me draw it to you. Just a second. So is reluctant. Come on. There you are. Let me make it bigger. There you are. Is reluctant. So is reluctant, you're gonna need an agent or experiencer. I think it's more of experiencer thing. So you need someone who has that feeling. Yeah. The leave, again, you need someone who is living. So again, you need an agent. Yeah. So, in the sentence, John is reluctant to leave. This and this has the same constituent playing two roles. And that cannot happen in syntax. That is a no-no. You can't have the same thing having two roles. Remember that. So a solution to this is having something here in the middle, which is called pro. Okay? So instead of having this John two roles, this pro is going to take this role here. And then this pro is like a pronoun referring back to John. Okay? So let me show you the trick. So as you can see down here, we have here your pro. Pro basically means pronoun. Okay? So it's like a null pronoun. So it's something you have there, you cannot see it. Okay? It's usually before a verb without a subject, with an infinitive, like to leave, to go. So this pro refers back to John, right? And gets the case. So now we are getting rid of that problem we had before, because remember, you cannot have the same constituent with two roles. So this pro is getting the role from leave, okay? and this reluctant, or is reluctant, so actually reluctant is giving the feature role to John. Now this is a verb. This goes up here, so it's like an auxiliary verb in this case. Finally, you need a case. So this case for pro, so this pro goes up here to get a case, but it doesn't get any case because this is a non-finite, so no case for pro. But pro then again is referring back to John. So, and then John, yes, it also needs a case. And remember, you only get cases from finite tenses. So you need to go up here and get a nominative case from this. Yeah, so this is assigning a case to this. Okay. Let's see if I can show you. Example of this. There you are. This is the same thing as before. Yeah, this is what I told you before, I think, yeah. So, I'll repeat again. Pro goes up here because of this EPP. Okay, extended projection principle. So basically means every sentence needs a subject. So it needs to go up here. For that principle also because it's looking for a case. But again, pro doesn't need a case actually because it's something you don't really see, right? And also it's just, so the function of this pro is just to avoid John having two feature roles. It's just the other thing, okay? That's why you need this pro. Because remember there is the feature criteria, which is a word or a constituent cannot have two feature roles. Only one. So that's why we came up with this pro thing. Which basically pro is like an invisible pronoun referring back to something else, yeah? Then again, John gets a role from reluctant. So with this expression, like is reluctant, the role is coming from the adjective because the verb is not really a verb; it's more like a tense. Okay, it's like a copular verb, as we call it. It's like an equal sign. Okay, so it's like a tense. So that's why, even though it's expressed as a verb in English, it needs to go to the tense. Remember, a tense can be a modal verb, it can be an auxiliary verb, something, or the verb to be when it's together with an adjective, for example. So this John again needs to go up there for the EPP principle. So that's one principle. And also because it needs to get a case from the tense, so it gets a nominative case from the tense. Okay, sorry if it was a little bit long-winded. I just wanted to explain this to you so it doesn't come as a surprise when you see it, and I hope you don't cry anymore. Have a good day.